Hey everyone, welcome back to Endless Money Pits. This is the new Shoei RF-1400, and today I'll give you a review of what it's like to own one. We'll start with my first ride in this helmet, then I'll tell you how I feel after using it all summer, and at the end I'll tell you the one thing I really hate about this helmet. If you aren't familiar with the RF-1400, it's supposed to be one of the best sport bike helmets available as far as construction and aerodynamics. This one costs $679, so I'm expecting high quality and low wind noise. This Japanese-made helmet is DOT certified and Snell approved, but does not carry the ECE 22.05 certification. Alright, first ride with the Shoei RF-1400. Let's check it out. And my old helmet is a Bell Vortex, and I bought it in like 2014, I think. So I've had it for about 8 years, and it was called to my attention recently. I think it was in a Yummy Noob video. I'm pretty sure I saw him saying that helmets expire. There's oils in the foam that evaporate over time, and then they're not as safe as they once were. So that kind of freaked me out a little bit. I had never heard that, or if I had heard it, I forgot about it. So I went out and bought a new helmet. Well, I didn't just buy a new helmet. I went looking for the best helmet that suited my needs, and woo! Car just pulled out for me. Well, I started looking for a replacement helmet that was the same as the one that I already have, because I already have the transitions visor for it, and that's still good. And it's kind of on a budget, so I didn't want to spend a whole bunch of money. So I ordered a new version of the one I have, and it did not have the vent above the forehead. I forget what you call that, the bill vent or whatever. The brow vent. It didn't have that. So I sent it back because of that. And then I ordered another one that was the deluxe version of the same helmet. It had the brow vent in it, but when I pulled it out of the box, it had a screw that fell out. I don't know where the screw even came from, but a screw just fell out. And I checked the manufacturer date on it, and it was 2015. So that thing was already 7 years old. That's not what I was looking for. So those were my two options for the transitions visor I already had, and I really wanted to keep the transitions visor. So I started looking at other helmets that offer a transitions visor, and there really aren't many. There's like 2. So the one I ended up with was the Shoei RF-1400, which I guess, I don't know much about Shoei helmets, but I guess this is the new version of the renowned RF-1200, which is supposed to be like a top tier helmet. Everybody loves it. So instead of looking at the price tag, I closed my eyes and I clicked buy now, and I didn't really do that, but you kind of have to, because it was like 600, I forget, it's like $620 or $650. It was not cheap, but you only got one head. Well, maybe that's not true, but you got to protect it, so it seems worth it. It's got some neat features. It's got all the vents I wanted. It's got these emergency cheek pull out things. So it's safer, right? It's worth it. It's raining a little bit today, as you might have noticed. That's okay. We've got a new helmet. So anyway, yeah, I bought this helmet, even though it was really expensive. And then the visor for it was separate. The transitions visor that I wanted, that was like another $200. I think it was more than that, like $220. And then I ordered a pin lock for it also, because I'd never had one of those before, and I hate fog on my visor, and I thought I'd try it out. It was another $65 or something. And I ordered it from Shoei, and they sent me the wrong one. I don't know, I don't remember what one they sent me, but it was completely the wrong one. And so I emailed them and I was like, hey, can I send this back? Oh, by the way, in the meantime, I had gotten the helmet, and it came with a pin lock. It came with a pin lock visor. so I didn't even need to buy one. I just cracked the visor on here because I'm coming to a stop and I didn't want it to, well, I got the pin lock, but it's just habit to crack the visor when I come to a stop so it doesn't fog up. And just to let you guys know, it was super duper easy to open. Some people might think that that button on the front is like a two-handed procedure or it takes a lot of force. No, it just popped right open. That was really easy. I was actually surprised at how easily it popped open. Now this is my first time wearing the helmet on the bike, but I did put it on and take it off a couple times to get that intro shot. It is a very tight fit, especially taking it off. I read a review on Amazon maybe, where some guy was saying that he got cauliflower ear from ripping his ear while he was taking this thing off. That freaked me out a little bit, so I'm extra careful when I put it on and take it off. But it doesn't seem that bad. I think it will break in over time and get a lot easier. It's windy out here today. The rain's not bothering me at all. It's just a little sprinkle. But the wind is windy. It's blowing me around. Yeah, to crack the vent, I just kind of stick my thumb into that button and up under the lip of the visor, and it just pops open really easily. And the visor also, if you push it down really hard, it clicks into place, like seals really good. I was getting this helmet all put together today. It came with a chin curtain and a breath guard thing that goes over your nose. And then I put the pin lock lens on the visor. And it came with a little bottle of silicone oil to put around the seal of the visor to get an extra good seal. I thought that was pretty cool. The helmet seems quieter. I haven't done a lot of highway riding yet, so I'll comment more on that later. But it seems good. It definitely seems like an improvement over my 8-year-old Bell Vortex. Who would have thought? This guy's boat is getting wet. I've never ridden with the microphone in my helmet. I've got one of those fuzzy things on the end of it to keep the wind noise out. It's called a dead cat. And it's tickling my chin. I was reading the instructions for the pin lock when I was installing it, and it said not to use it at night because it only allows for 80% of light transmission, and so it's not approved for nighttime use. But honestly, I don't think I'm worried about using this thing at night. I'm gonna be behind all these freaking cars. Wow, how do so many cars come from that intersection? Where are they all going? Where do they all come from? Visor is fogging up a little bit. Nobody behind me is turning the same way as me, so that's good. There's nobody lined up behind me. Wow, there's so much traffic. I'm surprised. Ah, boy. Pull out in front of the Tesla. I almost could have. Come on now. After this truck. Yeah, maybe I wasn't supposed to do that, whatever. Yeah, I like this. This is good. Yeah, it's just a smoother sound. The wind isn't whipping at my ears. It's just rolling across my ears. It's much nicer.
All right, sorry about all that wind noise. I'll try to improve the audio for future videos like that. After using this helmet for a few months, I've come to realize some more things about it. I briefly mentioned it in the first ride, but the pin lock lens did fog up a little around the edges while I was sitting in traffic in the rain. I had the visor cracked while I was stopped, but all the vents were open while I was riding, which would have let in some moisture. That was the only time the pin lock has fogged up on me, but it was also the only time I rode in the rain. The fit of this helmet feels like it was actually designed to protect my head. After breaking it in, the helmet still feels pretty tight around my face, but not in an uncomfortable way. When I did an 800-mile trip in July, my head and neck felt completely fine after a full day of riding. Shoei says the aerodynamics are designed to create some lift to make the helmet feel a little bit lighter, and I wouldn't be surprised if it actually works. I love how good the finish looks on this helmet up close. The metallic flake, small details, and overall look of this helmet contribute to this being a high-quality piece of gear. This is one of many graphics options, so it was really hard to choose, but the blue and white really match my bike well, and the red gives some nice contrast to make it stand out. The ventilation system in the RF-1400 keeps my head much cooler than my old helmet did, but you're always going to sweat wearing a helmet in the summer heat. I also noticed a huge difference in wind noise with the vents open versus closed. Even with all the vents open, wind noise seemed muffled compared to my old helmet, but when I closed them for the first time, I was really surprised at how the whipping wind noise became just a low rumble. Of course, you'll still want to wear earplugs, but this was a big step up from my Bell Vortex. When cracking the visor open, sometimes I can get it to stay open about 1 centimeter for a moment, but as soon as I hit a bump or catch a little air resistance, the visor drops, leaving a very small gap. Surprisingly, this tiny gap still delivers a lot of air. My old helmet would hold the visor open pretty far, but it seemed to channel air and debris straight into my eyes, which was always annoying. The Shoei does not direct air into my eyes, even when the visor stays open further. When the visor is in the lowest open position, it still delivers plenty of air, but not in a harsh way. It's like a gentle sheet of air rolling across my face in a very controlled manner. I know, I'm making it sound like this is the greatest helmet ever. It's the greatest helmet that I've ever used, but there is one thing about it that really stressed me out for a few days. Getting ready for my trip to California, I pulled the Sena intercom out of my old helmet, pulled the padding out of my new helmet, and couldn't believe there was no way to make it fit. Because of its design, you cannot clamp an intercom onto the bottom edge of the RF-1400. I was able to find out that Sena has announced an intercom specifically designed to fit this helmet, and it would only cost me another $349. Feeling desperate, I tried to buy one only to find out that I can't. They just aren't available yet anywhere. Sena's website says to call your local Shoei retailer, but the shop in my area didn't have any idea when these intercoms would be coming in. It's been 2 months, and they're still unavailable as far as I can tell. So, no intercom for now, I guess. I also kinda hate how the Velcro from my gloves always gets stuck to the inside of this helmet. That never happened with the old one. Overall, the Shoei RF-1400 really seems to be a top-tier helmet that I am very happy with. Despite a couple flaws, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5, but just remember, it's not going to be cheap if you want the transitions visor and the special Sena intercom, but you get what you pay for. My review of the transitions photochromic visor will be coming out soon, so make sure to subscribe and you'll be notified when it's ready. Thanks for joining me today, and until next time, just keep throwing money at it. By the way, you can now support the channel by purchasing this awesome design available in a t-shirt, long sleeve, and a hoodie, and in a bunch of different colors as well. Check for a link in the description below.